Hi, my name is Sendlakowski, and I'll be your eighth grade science teacher this year. Just a little bit about me. I actually grew up in the Seattle area. I've been teaching for about 25 years. 22 of those years I've been on Mercer Island, and about 13 I've been at the middle school. I have a little small family, just one child, and she is currently a freshman at Tufts University. Actually, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done, leaving her in Boston just right before school started. This year, for eighth grade science, we focus on Earth and space and a variety of topics within that. Generally, what we're looking at is the next gen science standards and both the content pieces within it, and then something called science and engineering practices that go along with those. You will see it play out in class in a few ways. First of all, we start every unit by introducing hopefully a real world interesting phenomenon. This energy unit, we looked at the Death Valley rocks that seem to create trails on their own, like kind of move by themselves. And we started with theories as to why that might happen. And the unit will guide us to figure out really what's happening there. For this class, you're going to need generally a field notebook that allows us to go outside, take some notes, but also collect data in class. We also use an earth science textbook. That textbook will be available in physical copy, but it also ends up linked. Sections will end up linked onto the documents themselves. So both ways are easily accessible, hopefully. The grading policy this year is standards based. And what that means is you will not be looking at A, B, C's, and D's. You'll be looking at a 4, 3, 2, 1. Generally, we're trying to meet standard always. So shooting for that 3 is our goal as we move through the unit. So at the beginning of the unit, they might start as a 1 or a 2, and then hopefully by the end, they're in the 3 category. Unfortunately, Skyward's not set up to handle those specifically. So it always converts it to a percentage. I'm going to ask you to ignore the percentage and just really celebrate when they get to that 3. It is also possible for them to achieve a 4 level. And it just means they have a deeper understanding and can apply the concepts in a lot of different ways. That shouldn't be an expectation for every unit, but it definitely is accessible to all the kids. One of the things that you'll see is that we use something called the Proficiency Scale. In science, we're looking at not just concepts, but we're also looking at those practices. And we are looking for you to achieve a 3, you really have to be doing both things at the same time. So with energy, it'll be the ability to use and develop models, but also use and develop models within the guise of energy. So describing how energy flows through a system using a model is our main goal. You can see that on the proficiency scales. The 2 is really a descriptive category. Sorry, let me go back for that. The 2 is really a descriptive category, and it gives them the vocab and processes that will get them, that will cover along the way to that 3. I will communicate using Schoology and Skyward. Schoology is really meant to be a student tool, accessing documents, seeing the calendar, and then feedback is provided there. Skyward is really the communication tool for the 3 of us. It will have, related to the proficiency scales, there'll be assessments, and those can be anything from check-in quizzes to individual assignments. Sometimes those would be then assessed on the 4, 3, 2, 1 scale related to their again, the energy concepts for this unit and modeling. Those assessments combine together to form a pattern, and that pattern is communicated in something called the cumulative score. And that's really honestly their grade. So you're going to see that the assessments themselves end up as no count. And basically what I'm doing is I'm looking at a pattern. I don't want it to average it. I want to be able to see kind of where are they now. Another piece that we're going to be assessing is behaviors. So behaviors they're calling them soft skills this year. But we know that they're super important. Part of that behavior is handing in work on time. And so you can see on my habits of learning rubric, there is a position for that. For those daily assignments, the practice pieces in our journey through energy, I will look at those, and what will happen is they will go into the habits of learning category, and they will also receive a 4-3-2-1. The 3 in this case means that it's on time and generally done. The 4 would basically be that they put a little bit more thought into their answers, content wise. So it wouldn't necessarily be length, but it's really about that I can tell that they spent some time with the material. And if they are running behind or whatever, the 2 or 1 is going to communicate that to you. And in that way, we can see kind of where they are in their journey. The habits of learning category will be separate from the actual grade. So even though I'm assessing it on a 4-3-2-1, it's using a different rubric. You see that. And it also will be no count. It's really just meant to be, again, a way for you to see how your child is doing. Oftentimes, handing in work is going to probably be like pretty indicative of how they're going to do on the assessments or tests, because I consider the work to be valuable in that journey towards that 3. This year, I just want you to know, as a parent, I like to know what should I do? So there's different ways in supporting your child in becoming an independent learner. That's our goal as especially as an 8th grader. Encourage your child to come in for homework center help if they need it. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, I actually run it. So it's from 3 to 4. And it gives them an opportunity to check in with me, make up any labs that they have, or ask any questions. You want to encourage them to use a planner as a college level mom. I know that has actually been a skill that's been really helpful. And I mean, a physical planner, or using a Google Calendar, for example, in a very directed way. And then also encourage your child to check in with me. Their ability to talk to their teachers, or at least you helping them figure out how to talk to their teachers, is going to be super helpful in the future. I just want to thank you for your time and attention. Have an amazing day.